Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and today I have my buys and buys for November. So I did get this video idea from another YouTuber. Her name is Anne and I always do have her link down below in my description box. She is a lovely YouTuber from Canada and she has the kindest heart because she fosters dogs. And I don't know how every single one of her dogs aren't foster fails, even though I know she's had some like hospice fosters, which again just warms my heart so much. But she is wonderful and I love watching her content, and she did inspire me to do this video and this series. So I want to give her credit where credit is due. But a buys of buys is my purchases and my empties for the month. We look over my beauty budget. We look at my cost of my empties throughout the year, and we are getting down to the wire. So I have two baskets of purchases because of course November was Black Friday month. So I have two baskets of purchases and I have my tub of empties. So let me get this all squared away and we will get into my buys and buys for November. All right, like I said, I do have my bucket of empties. So this is my wonderful trash can. And we have some bigger items in there that's filling it up, but we do have some smaller items that are kind of in the bottom. So let me organize everything. You guys know how I like to put my things into kind of categories and groups, and then we will go over my empties. My empties are not as impressive, and I know that... Oh, hi, Malcolm. Malcolm's coming in here to hang out. I know my empties for December is going to be crazy because I'm wrapping a lot of things up for the end of the year, but let me get these set out so I'm not making a bunch of noise with my little popcorn bucket over here, and we will get into my empties. All right, so I do have a lot of skincare empties this time around. Not a whole lot of makeup empties, but we will definitely see how that turns out next month for my end of year. But let me go over the things that don't count towards like my budget, and I'm kind of keeping track of these things again to see how many of these products I use up per year just to give me an idea. But that would be my hand creams. So I have eczema on my hands and I actually am recovering, but I am getting over a little bit of an outbreak that happened on my fingers. My doctor actually prescribed me a steroid cream because he's like, hey, your regular creams are not going to cut it. So he gave me a steroid. And if the tripod is knocking, it's because Malcolm is on the other side of it, but I will forgive that sweet boy over there. But I did go through a pump bottle of so I buy the Walmart equivalent. So the Equate brand is the Walmart branded of kind of the generic products. And so I did get the diabetic lotion. And so this is compared to the Gold Bond diabetic lotion. For some reason, I love the diabetic lotion and it just hydrates so much. So between the like eczema relief cream, which has the oatmeal in it, and the diabetic cream that sinks in really well, I actually mix these two together and that's what I keep by my bedside. So my lotion that I keep and that I slather myself in before I go to sleep, that is this combination right here. Again, this will probably be, this will be my last empty of this for the year. So I'm really curious how many of these big tubes of eczema cream I went through in a year. But I also did go through a small size of the Gold Bond eczema cream, the hand cream. So I keep one of these little ones in each one of our cars. So, hello. If you like videos that are long and that I randomly go off on tangents, then you have found the right place. But I saw somewhere that somebody had posted like, oh my God, I just went to a friend's house and I learned that they don't have assigned cars. And we don't either. So we have 3 vehicles. So we have like a fuel efficient like sedan. Then we have my husband's like dream sports car. And then we have our truck, which I call our 4Runner a truck. So if it's an SUV, it is a truck because it is a utility vehicle. So we have 3 vehicles and we don't have assigned cars. I drive the sports car on Sundays to go get groceries. And then depending on the distance that we need to go, we'll drive the fuel efficient car. And then if I have to go like down a dirt road to get to my visit, or if my husband's taking the truck to the range, like then he uses the truck. So we don't have assigned cars. We just keep, like in my purse, I keep all 3 keys to the cars in my purse. And we will actually walk out the door when we're going somewhere and be like, what car do you want to take? And we just pick. So I don't know how people do it with assigned cars. It might come down to people with kids, which that's my husband. He is asking me, so he's been gone all week and he is actually on his way home, and he is probably almost here, like in the next hour he'll be home, but he wants me to text his hairdresser about getting a haircut. So let me do that for him real quick. He's cutting it close with asking our lady if she has room tomorrow, but she always tries to work him in. But going back to, he's actually driving the truck home from his time out. But yeah, so do you guys have assigned cars? Like I can see with having kids, or if somebody needs a particular vehicle for their job, then like I can see having assigned cars, but for us, we don't really have assigned vehicles. So you guys are going to have to tell me how you do it in your household, or if the idea of not having an assigned vehicle that is like yours. I will say there is always surprises about us saying like, how much gas is left in this? How much gas is left in this? Like we do have that conversation a lot, but I do keep these Gold Bond creams in each one of our vehicles, and I keep it in my purse. I keep it everywhere, just so if my hands are ever feeling dry, I do have my favorite cream to go ahead and moisturize. So we went through some more hand creams. All right, she got him worked in, and I love her because she was like, I was actually going to text you guys to see if you needed to come in because it's been a while. So she actually keeps us accountable for his haircuts. But that was my hand creams. Let me get these out of the way because these were in my deck of panning. And so I had a bunch of sachets of eye creams. So I had one from Bobbi Brown and like 6 or 7 from Shiseido. I liked the Bobbi Brown one more than I liked the Shiseido ones. I didn't really feel like the Shiseido ones did anything, but the Bobbi Brown one was super, super hydrating. So loved getting these sachets out of my skincare fridge. And on the same vein of eye creams, I did go through one of the Good Molecules, is it Yerba Mate Wake Up Eye Gels? So I squeezed everything that I could out of this little thing here. So it is all done, but this is another one where I didn't really see anything special happening. For a $7 eye cream, it was nice to put on, and it was a nice gel formula, but even a $7 cream, if it's not doing something spectacular, it's not something I'm going to repurchase. A few of you, after I mentioned that Andy thinks that like eye creams are worthless and like it's a conspiracy just to sell you a smaller pot of cream of the same thing as the moisturizer, like I'm starting to jump on board with that because no eye cream that I've used has been like, oh my God, even though a couple years ago I used up one of the Ole Henriksen eye creams and I loved it, and that's why I repurchased another one. So I can't wait to start using that one again to see if I remember the same things that it was doing. But still, maybe this is for younger eyes that don't have as many like concerns as far as my dry under eyes, my thinning skin, my like wrinkles coming in. Like maybe for younger skin this would feel nice, but for me it just didn't do what I needed it to do. I did go through another one of the peptide masks, and so these are really, really fabulous. I had one in my Empties last time. Now with these don't necessarily fit my face really well, so I do actually cut them up quite a bit to get them to lay on my face nicely, but went through another one of these, went through my eye gels. And then my last skincare product that I went through is the Tower 28 Daily Rescue Facial Spray. It was the jumbo one. So I bought this one last year and I just refilled my Tower 28 spray bottle. And this is what I was talking about last time with you guys, about I picked up something different in its place, but with the same active, which thank you to the person who said, hey, if you're spraying this on your face, give it a good 15 minutes to like set in, because I guess the acid in this or the active in this can actually make your other actives that you put on ineffective. So I've been a lot better about spraying this on because I spray it all the way down my chest. So I spray it on, I leave it on, and then I go in with the rest of my steps about 10 to 15 minutes later. So thank you so much for that tip. I do see all of y'all's comments. I actually need to get into my comment section and do some replies. It's just work has been so busy. So I took a half day today. I'm filming this on Friday, the day before I need to get this up because I was waiting on a special package to come in the mail. But I took a half day today and I still worked like 4 hours after my half day. But finally my package came in, so we're sitting down to film. But this isn't empty, so I went through this entire bottle. And then let's do a one-off, and I think I told you guys that this one was coming, but this is the Holo Taco base coat, and this is the long-lasting base coat. I didn't feel like this was very long-lasting because within a couple days I could peel my nail polish off like this was the peely base coat. So there's still some in here, obviously, but I can't get it out, and I'm not screwing the cap onto this every time just to get this base coat out. I have used as much as I can of this, so I'm calling this one an empty. I do have the base coat from I Love Nail Polish, ILNP, because I get it wrong if I don't practice it in my head, but I do have the base coat from them, and I'm going to start trying that one out. Again, I've been too busy to even paint my nails. I thought about sitting down and painting my nails today, but that did not happen either. So done and dusted on a base coat. So we have 3 makeup empties, and I'll kind of explain one because I don't understand this one, but we'll get there. But you guys saw this in my project pan that I posted at the beginning of the month, and that is my Sephora lip gloss in Busy. So you guys see my marks all the way through the year, and then I really did a last push at the end of throughout all of November to get that last little bit done. So this gloss is empty, and I actually miss it. Now that I did a pink look today, I was like, I don't have any more pink lip glosses. So does that mean that I need to go buy more lip glosses? Probably not, but I am done with my pink lip gloss. And then this one I also kind of powered through, and that is the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment, and this one is in Cocoa Cream. And I've said this time and time again. Well, number one, I got this in a FabFitFun, so maybe this one is different than the other ones that are on the shelves, but I'm not going to buy another one to try it. But to me, this tasted and smelled like cardboard. Like the cardboard that a box of chocolates comes in. That's what this smelled like and tasted like. So I did not like this at all, especially for the taste and the smell. The Summer Friday ones have never let me down. That's why I've gone, actually I have 3 right now in my drawer, but I don't trust the flavor enough of this one to try another one. Now, if it comes into my life through a subscription box, then great, but otherwise I'm not going to go out of my way to get these. Now, the formula of it was nice. I think that it is a great formula, but I don't like the feeling of, like, again, feeling like I'm putting a lip gloss on that smells and tastes like cardboard. I just can't do it. But my last empty, again, empties are like really slim pickings this month, but it is powders. So, and the reason that this one confused me was that you guys saw this one in my deck of panning. I used up a container of powder, but with how many powders I have in backup, it doesn't make sense that I have a powder empty. But I know that I had mixed the rest of my Wet n Wild powder, because actually I did not like this one. I kind of mixed this with the Nakia Joy and just powered through it. So my guess is that the majority of what was in here was me finishing this powder. So in my little numbers, I'm only counting this as the empty, because every other powder that's in my inventory matches up to a full powder that's in my drawer. So I don't know how I got my numbers off. I have started numbering my powders now, like on the boxes, so that I know what I'm pulling, so that I can keep better track. And also part of it's my fault because I do mix powders together. So I'll take like a full Nakia Joy and I'll mix it with a e.l.f. Halo Glow and then split it into 2 containers. So technically I have to go through the 2 containers to use up those 2 powders that I mixed. So it's my own fault for not keeping good track, but I know for sure that this got mixed in and this is done. So the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent, Andy loves this, and I picked this up on Andy's recommendation, but Andy and I have different skin types. So she's dry, I'm oily. This did not cut it for my oily skin, but we have a powder/powder empties. So that is the last of my empties. So let me get these into my bucket and then we'll go over my purchases. Oh, let me go over my numbers. But like I said, it was so sad what my actual like empties totals were. So my empties added up to $153.20. The majority of, and I'll make a little bit of noise, the majority of that was this. So this was close to $49, what I purchased it for last Black Friday when Tower 28 does their 28% off on their website. So that was the biggest part of my empties, was this one right here. So not a whole lot of high priced empties. Behind that one was the Ulla Hendrickson lip product at $22. So everything else kind of like nickeled and dimed that that empties price up to $153. Let me look at, actually I need to add this last amount to my yearly amount. So I have an arbitrary goal to reach $2,000 worth of empties, and we have done it. So I am at $2,085.85. So that is my empties total so far. So I have met that goal. That goal is to keep me mindful. And one of you guys actually, I think, oh, you DM'd me. So you DM'd me and you're like, you know, when you do your inventory, when you do your prices, do you do retail price or price that you bought it for? And the way that I explained it was that if I purchased it myself with my own money, then I put the purchase price. If it came to me as a free gift, as a sample, as something in my FabFitFunds, then I put the retail price, because that retail price is my replacement price. So if I was to purchase that myself, that would be the purchase price. Or if I was to repurchase that item for myself, I would be expected to pay that full amount. So that's how I come up with my numbers and my figures. So that's why, you know, I only have $49 listed for that SOS product, but I think normally it's like 60 something dollars full price, but I'm only charging what I paid for it. So $2,085.85. So we're looking good. And we have lots more empties for December. Like I said, I'm filming this on the 13th and I already have like a basket of empties over there waiting to go in my bucket. So we are going to be looking really good by the end of the year. I was really scared for my budget, but this is what I plan ahead for. This is what I budget for. This is what I'm mindful about when I know Black Friday is coming. So yeah, I was very worried about my budget for November, but I was good. I stayed in the positive. But let's roll into my baskets full of purchases. And the first one that we can actually do is my first purchase that I've made. And this is the replacement for the Tower 28 SOS spray. And Malcolm's back there moving again. But let me do a comparison of these two. So this one here is the same active ingredient, and let's see here, hypochlorous, I believe it is hypochlorous acid, face and skin spray refill. So this one here is 32 ounces. This one here is 16. So this is double the amount of the one from Tower 28. Same active, same like purpose as a face and body spray. This one here on Amazon was $25. So we are purchasing this for the Tower 28 appeal and price or a like brand name and all that when we can get double the amount of product for almost a third of the price if you're looking at full price retail. Crazy pants. So I did pick this up. This thing is still so full, and I actually filled up my Tower 28 spray that's in my fridge, and I filled up an empty e.l.f. setting spray bottle. I filled up one of those and I keep it in my bathroom for my nighttime skincare. I've filled both of those up and we're still like only down to there. So this thing is going to last me 2 years. Close to 2 years. I will not have to repurchase this. So very, very happy. And I haven't seen, I mean, they smell the same because it's the same active. And actually every time I spray it in the morning, my husband walks in here. He's like, what smells like a swimming pool? This. So I know that it is the, the same thing. It smells the same. But yeah, I haven't noticed any difference in like the way that it reacts on my skin. It still is doing the same thing. So it really does help kind of keep those more surface level blemishes at bay, but it does not do anything for my hormonal acne. At this point, I don't think anything will. But that was my first purchase of the month. Then I made a purchase during the VIB sale, which actually I need to grab the other part of it out of my drawer real quick. So the first thing, I have hair all over me and it is tickling my arms and bothering the crap out of me. But the first thing that I picked up from the Sephora VIB sale is a jumbo of my Verb Ghost Oil. This is my Holy Grail Ghost Oil. No, Erin. This is my Holy Grail hair oil. So I am almost done with the one that's in my bathroom. So this is the backup and this one is, I think, double the amount because the original one is only 2 ounces and this is 4. So this is double the amount. So this will last me freaking forever. So love this one. Now I will say that hair care does not go against my budget because I have such a small amount of hair care that I buy per year. So I will go over my numbers at the end and you'll see what my hair care numbers look like. So this did not count against my beauty budget. I only count skincare and makeup against my beauty budget. But got a repurchase of that. And then I had polled you guys on my community tab about getting another pink powder. And I wanted to try either the Tower 28 powder or the Kosas powder. And we went back and forth and back and forth. And I did land on buying the Kosas powder. So this is the Cloud Set powder, I guess is just what it's called. But I got it in candy. So that is the pink shade. I have a little bit of hard pan just around the edges, but this is well used already and well loved. I've already put a dent in the dome of this product. So I do use this with a powder puff and I am only setting my under eyes and then a little bit around this triangle area right here. That is where I'm setting with this powder only. The rest of my face gets set with my Nakia Joy and I look so oily in my viewfinder. I tried to powder down, but this makeup has been on since 6 o'clock this morning and it's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So don't mind the extra glow that I have going on. But I really do like this powder. You'll see another purchase down the line that I will see what I think about as a comparison. But so far I do like this. It is a nice light powder. It sets my under eyes. I don't feel like it adds any heaviness to my under eyes. Husband just got home. Let me go say hello to him because I actually did miss him while he was gone, and then I will come back. So husband comes home and he laid me. The theme of his conference that he just went to was a luau theme because, of course, what corporate conference isn't complete without a theme? But, and he did bring me home a cookie too, a red velvet cookie. So very happy that he is back and that he is home. But don't even know where I was at, but I have this out. So I think I was talking about the Cloud Set powder. I like it. It does what it needs to do. It's not heavy under my eyes. It brightens a little bit because it's the pink powder formula. So really, really enjoying this. I'm curious how quickly I will go through this just because of the dent that I already have in there. Let me see. Yeah, you guys can see the top of that dome is worked off, but we'll see how quickly I end up going through this. But I kind of want the challenge of panning a baked powder anyway. So that is that. Ooh, I got to pick this out of my drawer too because I did not remember to put this in my basket. I purchased too many things in November that I forgot about some of them. But this is a repurchase. This is my Bobbi Brown Skin Corrector Stick in light bisque. I think they were doing 30% off on the Bobbi Brown site early in November, so I did pick up a backup of this one. I'm still not done using the corrector that I pulled out of the base of my stick and melted back into my compact. I'm still not done with that, but of course I was going to pick up a backup while it was 30% off. So repurchase, I've gone through, I think, 2 pots, and this will be my second stick that I'm purchasing. So that is a holy grail product for sure. But let me actually put this down so I don't knock it over, because my next item is in this basket here, and I did do a repurchase of my DSMD Shop sponges, and so I picked up the all pink ones and then the pink and brown swirl. And so this is her new packaging. They were in more plastic kind of like box packaging, but now she's doing this round packaging. So I picked up 3 of the pink ones and 3 of the swirl ones. So I picked up a total of 6. These were on sale for $5 a piece. And so got those, and those should last me until about the summertime. And like I said, I'll repurchase more next year whenever maybe she does a 4th of July sale or something like that. But I did restock on my sponges. My beauty tools also do not get wrapped into my budget because again, I don't spend a whole lot on beauty tools. So 6 sponges at $5 a piece, those were $30 altogether. Let me spin my basket around because we're going to go into the stuff that's over here. Oh, don't need to be dropping things. So I always restock on this during Black Friday as well, and that is the Nakia Joy powders. So I did pick up 2 of my regular, this is the Velvet Finishing Powder in the regular like vanilla scent. She also does have these unscented, but I love the vanilla scent, so I did pick up 2 of these. And then I did pick up another one of her pressed powders, and I picked up the brightening one. So this is her pink powder that is in her pressed formula. So after I am done with the Kosas one, then this is going to be the pink powder that I'm going to roll into. And this one is not, like, it doesn't come off pink on camera at all. Let me hold it up next to, because this is the brightening one. Yep, this is the brightening one. This is not the regular one. Let me hold it up next to the Kosas Candy, and we can see how pink the Kosas one comes across versus the one from Nakia Joy doesn't look that pink. Now, I will say that the Nakia Joy brightening one in the loose, because I just went through one of those, that did look pink in the container. So my guess is this is just, once they press it, maybe the pinkness goes away on, or it doesn't look as pink as if it was loose. But like I said, I will give it a try. I love the formula of the powders. I just want to try a pressed version. Sometimes I feel like with an under eye powder, I was picking up too much whenever it was a loose powder. And so I want to go with a pressed because then I feel like I have a little bit more control over how much I'm picking up on my puff. And so I'm not putting a whole bunch of powder on my under eyes. So I did pick up 2 of the loose and 1 of the pressed. She does bundles on her site to where you can do like a 3 powder bundle, and then you can pick what 3 powders you want. And then she did have like 20 or 25% off on top of that. Now, I do know if you were not able to get Nakia Joy during Black Friday, she does a boxing sale, which is the day after Christmas. So if you're still looking to pick up stuff from her on a deal, she does one more sale before the end of the year. Then I did pick up another foundation. And again, I'm like, what is going on with all these purchases? But if I think about it, my Estee Lauder foundation is going to be gone in January. And then after that, I'm going to be still using my Eavesdrop sparingly because it's not my like go-to coverage level. And then I do have the Tier, but that's a cushion foundation with such little product in it. And it's also a mini, so I feel like I'll go through that in a few months. And so I did pick up this while it was 30% off. And this is the Urban Decay Face Bond. So this has been raved about by people with oily skin. You know, hot climates, humid climates, oily skin. So I need this to be my salvation for the summertime. So I did pick it up in shade 2, which is actually fair neutral. And what pissed me off about, so I went to Ulta because the Ulta is closer to me than the Sephora. So I went to Ulta to look at the shades, but they had the caps off of all of them. And the little tips were so dried up and clogged that you couldn't get any product out to even see what the shade is. So I'm hoping that this is actually a see-through component and that this is not just colored plastic. I'll have to see, or if you guys have this and you've used some of it up, does it end up settling? But this was the closest to like it looks fair for me. But if you actually look at the color of the rest of my body, like it will end up matching. Like it will be okay. And if not, then I can always mix in a little bit of my Misha BB cream, which the gray tone in that tends to neutralize a lot of things for me. So I went with a neutral because this is number 2. So the Fair Cool was number 1, and that was way too light. That's like ghostly. And then the next step, I think, for Cool was number 4, and that was too dark for me. So I feel like this is going to be a good enough match. And when I actually take the product out of the tube, I keep thinking this is like a twist cap, but you just pull it off. When I actually do squirt some of the product out and kind of rub it into my skin, it does have a decent shade match. Like, use your imagination, put some bronzer on it, put some blush on it. This will be a really good base color for me as well. So a lot of times if I can't find a cool toned that works for me, then a lot of times neutrals will also work for me. And like I said, I always have my Misha BB cream to back me up. So that foundation, again, with my mindset on all this is that these products will be gone by next year. I'll use them up in the next 12 months. So it might seem a lot like I'm buying, 3 powders, but I'm guessing it'll take me about 6 months to go through the Kosas powder, and then I'll move on to this one. And like I said, with these, I think every 4 months I'm going through a loose powder. So all of this stuff will get used up. Usually I can go through a foundation anywhere from the 5 to 6 month mark. And so this will be gone by this time next year. No problem. But I did want to pick it up while it was 30% off. Let's see here. I did go to my local Marshalls, and one of you guys actually recommended this, and this is a Beauty of Joseon product, and this is the Revive Eye Serum with ginseng and retinol, and it actually also has niacinamide in it. And so look at how big this eye cream is. Is this a full fluid ounce? This is 1.01 fluid ounces. This is the size of a moisturizer or a size of a foundation, but this is a lot of eye cream. So I'm excited about using this. Since it has retinol, I do want to use this in my nighttime skincare, so I do keep this in my bathroom. But I picked this up for, even with the Black Friday sales going on, since I know a lot of Beauty of Joseon products end up at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, I wanted to look there first. And so I ended up getting this for $10.99 versus the cheapest price on Amazon was like still $13 or $14. So I was able to pick it up locally, and I did get this eye cream. If anything, it'll be a nice retinol moisturizer for underneath my eyes. Again, if I want to stop buying into the hype about eye creams. But oh, I did my yearly purchase of my setting sprays. So I did pick up two of the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day setting sprays. This is in the coconut scent. I love these. I still do have a full one from last year, so usually I pick up 3 or 4 of them, but since I go through about 3 of these a year and 3 of the e.l.f. ones per year, I was already stocked up on an extra, so I only had to pick up 2. Plus, Gerard Cosmetics didn't do their buy one get one sale, but I ended up getting those cheaper than buy one get one because I think it was 30% off. Then also I was able to use a code for something. So these 2 sprays actually came out cheaper than the sprays that I bought last year. So I am all about that. Then I did my e.l.f. order. So I switched it up a little bit and I ended up picking up 3 different setting sprays from e.l.f. because I want to try these out. And I've heard good things, so I want to try them out. The one that I always buy is the Dewy Coconut Setting Mist, and so I love this one to pieces. This also has an amazing sprayer on it, so I love actually refilling these bottles with other things when the sprayers suck. But this is my holy grail. I love this one, so picked up one of those. Then I did pick up one of the Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mists, the up to 16-hour wear. So I feel like they are duping the Urban Decay All Nighter with this. It has a ball at the bottom that you're supposed to shake things up with, but I don't see there's any like powder in this or anything that you have to shake, but it has a ball in it, so I'll shake it whenever it needs to. But I wanted to give this a try and see what this feels like. Now I'm going to try this out by itself first, like just to see how it does before I decide to mix it how I usually do with my concoctions. So I want to get my thoughts on this before. And then another one that I picked up that I won't be mixing with anything because this one is the dual phase, but this is the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. And so it, like I said, it's a dual phase, so it has more of an oil up top and then the liquid, and you shake it up and it gets that dual phase. So this is duping the Milk Makeup one that came out. And so I wanted to just give this a try. I was like, hey, why not? I want to give it a shot. So this one has really, really intrigued me, but I got these for $7 each. So I did want to wait until I could get them on a deal. So we got these 3. And then I ended up getting another one of the Halo Glow setting powders. Again, I love mixing these in with my Nakia Joy. Just sometimes the Nakia Joy works almost too well, and it can be too mattifying and too, I don't want to say the word thick because it does go on and it smooths your pores and it sucks up your oils, but I think sometimes it can make me look a little bit too dry and too powdery. So I like mixing it with this because it brings down the powderiness just a bit and adds a little bit of glow. So I love this, and I did get it in the light pink shade because again, I am a cool undertone. And then the last thing that I got, because I needed this for either free shipping or to hit a threshold, and so I did pick up another one of my Holy Hydration Daily Moisturizers. Love these. I picked up a bunch of them last year. This is always a go-to moisturizer for me. And so actually, because I used, like, they had their like 30% off if you spent $35, and then I was able to use some of my e.l.f. rewards. Like, the e.l.f. site is so much better to order from than buying it anywhere else. All of this stuff I got for $25. Each one of these sprays retails for $10. This retails for $10. This retails for $8. So this is $48 worth of products that I got for $25. And that is how I got my budget to work for me this time of year. Now, one other thing, and I just got this in Amazon, so I forgot to add this to my list, which shame on me because I'll have to redo my numbers a little bit, but I have room in my budget, so don't worry, it's okay. But Jessica Braun got me again. She did a sponsored post with this company, and this is the Green Tangerine Vitamin C Dark Spot Serum by Goodall. This was $15 on Amazon. It was on sale during like pre-Black Friday times. It did take a little bit to ship to me, so I don't know if like Jessica like sold them out and so it took a little bit longer to get, or if this is coming from Korea because this is a Korean skincare brand. But I did want to try a different kind of vitamin C product because again, I have a couple stubborn like acne darkness spots that the acne has healed, but the spots are still there. I really want to try to get some of those down. So I want to try this out. And again, I trust Jessica. I don't think that she takes sponsorships willy-nilly. So I'm going to give it a shot. For 30 fluid ounces, so you get 30 fluid milliliters, you get an ounce. So for $15, that's not bad for a vitamin C serum. And so like I said, I want to give it a try. It comes in nice sturdy packaging and it comes in a nice glass bottle with a pump. So we will definitely give this a shot. And I just used up my other vitamin C serum 2 days ago. So this came at the right time. But like I said, I'm going to have to add that to my spreadsheet before I give you guys my final numbers. But let me reach behind me and grab the final item that I purchased. And this was the one that I was waiting to come in the mail today. So let me get all my stuff put away and we will pull out that final item. All right, so I wanted to open this on camera with you guys. So it is still in its wrapping. I took it out of the outer box because it had my like address and my real name on it. So bless Andy, because this was way back then, but she's just like, is Erin Taylor your real name? And I'm like, it's my maiden name, but it's my real name. Why? She's like, oh, my husband was talking with somebody and they started mentioning somebody named Erin with a German Shepherd, and I was wondering if you worked for his company, and we went back and forth. But she was the first person to be like, is that your real name? And I was like, for the majority of my life, it was my real name. So, surprise, people. I will not use my maiden name because, as I told you guys in one of my other videos, what my job is, I'm not going to post my real name on here and have you guys look up my license. So we'll just put it that way. But the Ensley Rain palette. So I told you guys that I was picking this up. I'm going to need scissors. So I told you guys that I asked my husband for the Light in Your Eyes palette for Christmas. Let me get all of this out of the way. And my mic is probably picking up all the crinkles. But actually, oh, she gave stickers. So, oh, little Christmas tree, little holographic Christmas tree. So before I show you guys this one, I'm gonna rant for a moment. So I kept saying how quote unquote wasteful it was to send the other palettes in a box and charge $15 for shipping. So she changed the outer packaging, but the shipping cost went up. And again, I understand it cost a lot to ship, and the size of the box, the size of the pallets, like I understand. I was willing to pay shipping. I used someone's code and it basically paid for shipping. But she did change the packaging from the other outer boxes, from the Flower Moon and the Cold Moon palette. So this is what the outer box of this one looks like. Stunning, beautiful artwork. And then, as my hair is doing weird things, how do you get in? Okay, so it has a little flap, a little magnetic flap, so that's cute. And then we get onto the inside, in the inside of the palette. So we do have a little bit of the hollow shift on the actual packaging, so we get rainbows in my lights. So the box in a box is still there, but she did streamline the box in the box a little bit. But with how delicate these shadows can be, I understand wanting to do, a box in a box. So sleeve comes off. Does the front of the palette also have that hollow shift? Yes, it does. You still see my lights, but you see the rainbows. All right. I have not looked at the inside of this. Like I said, I'm unpacking it with you guys on camera. So let me look at the inside and then I'll let you guys see. Okay, so I was about to freak out for a moment because I was like, what is this? I was like, what is, like, do I need to put the shadows in myself? Is this a hide and seek game? But these are just little protectors over the shadows. Again, she is wanting to make sure that these do not break. So let me try to get all the little protectors off of the shimmer shades, and then I will really get the impact of this palette. Okay, let me open it again where I'm not confused. Let me look again. Oh, beautiful. One of the shimmer shades came a little bit dented, but these shades are so soft that you can just put a finger into there, smush it back down, and look at this color story. I mean, gorgeous. And then look at those sparkles in there. Did I need a neutral palette? Absolutely not. Is my obsession with Ensley Rain's beautiful shades and beautiful mattes and just the color stories, is it running strong in my blood right now? Absolutely. This is, so the earth tones over here with the mustards and the greens and the burgundies, like this side is calling me. And then this little special cool side over here is just perfect to kind of have a little bit of interest, because I can even see doing something with some of these greens and then popping this gray in there, and that would just be like a little hint of a cool toned smoky something over this beautiful mountain ridge type of shades. Love this. It is stunning. And like I said, it just, the quality and just the sparkle and the dimension of the shimmer shades are just incredible. I cannot wait. So this palette right here might push me over the edge with not meeting my goal on my No Pan Left Behind, because I'm going to want to reach into this and I will be neglecting some of my other palettes. And again, I bought this because I anticipate maybe needing to declutter some of my older, more neutral palettes. So I bought this as kind of my consolation prize, or a replacement, a better formula and a better replacement for those shades. So I am so happy to have this. Actually, I need to keep the box because my husband's like, just wrap the box and put it under the tree and then act surprised when you open it. And I was like, okay, yes, sir, So I will go ahead and I'll wrap the box for myself and put it under the tree. But I am so, so happy to have this other Ensley Rain palette. It is absolutely stunning. So that was a very generous and beautiful gift from my husband. So let me add the vitamin C serum into my list here, and then we will go over my totals for my budget. Okay, I lied to you guys, because now that I added the $14.13 in for that serum, I am over budget for November, but not by much. And of course, you guys know that if I am over on my budget and my budget goes negative, I'm never negative in my actual account, because why would I pay a $35 overdraft fee on makeup? So what we are looking at is, at the end of October, I had $108.20 in my budget. I did get 2 paychecks in. Let me make sure that this still is equivalent. Yes, I got 2 paychecks in November for $75 each, so we added $150 to that budget. I spent a total of $261.76, and so that makes me over budget by $3.56. So for $3.56, I think I am okay with going over budget for the things that I purchased, because I know these are things I'm going to use in the next year. But if I am looking at my overall budget, so I still have 2 paychecks for December, and I've already made some purchases because Sephora is doing their 20% off for everybody right now. So I already did some purchases from Sephora, but if we're just looking at where we stopped in November, Then I still have $47.76 left for makeup, and I have $67.87 left for skincare. I'm maxed out on palettes, and that is why this one is a lovely gift from my husband. That is a Christmas present, so that does not go towards my budget. Of course, it goes towards my inventory, but doesn't go towards my budget. But if we are looking for year to date, so year to date on makeup, I have spent $952.24, $482.13 on skincare. I did my $400 in palettes. Then hair care, because this doesn't count because I haven't purchased a whole lot, if I stay under $100 a year in hair care, then I'm okay with not having it in my budget. So $96.67 in hair care. I have $63, almost $64 in fragrance, and then $135 in beauty tools. So at the beginning of the year, some of the tools were my sponges, some empty palettes, things like that. So I'm not worried about that because a lot of the empty palettes is not going to be a reoccurring purchase. My sponges are going to be a reoccurring purchase, but not other like brushes and stuff like that. That's not going to be reoccurring. So I'm okay with that amount right there. So that makes me super happy that I still have a little bit left for the end of the year. By my accounts, what is it? With my negative plus my two paychecks that are going to be coming in, I still have $146 to spend in December if I want to. If I want to roll some over, if I want to buy another palette at the end of the year, because I still have my eyes on the undergrowth palette, then I do have a little bit of wiggle room. Again, I've already purchased some things for December, but we still have some wiggle room. That makes me feel okay. So I think coming away from looking at my budget now that we are like at the end of the year, I'm not going to change my budget for next year. I think I'm going to keep my budget where it's at. I think having $400 for palettes, because most of the palettes that I'm buying are either Indie or Natasha Denona, so they are more expensive. I'm sorry, but I don't want to mess with drugstore palettes. I don't want to. That's not my thing. So I don't want to buy a bunch of more cheaper palettes just to make my budget go further. I'd rather be more intentional about spending my budget on palettes that are actually like quality and wow factor and that I love. So I think I'm okay with the $400 for palettes. I think I'm okay with the $550 for skincare because I got to experiment a little bit with skincare, and that might cue me in to do a few larger purchases from like Yes Style throughout the year just to have the skincare that I need for a certain period of time. So I might be able to actually do better on skincare next year as well. And then keeping $1,000 for makeup actually feels really, really good. Again, I have certain categories in my makeups that I want to go high end, like my foundations, but certain categories that I'm okay with going drugstore, which is like my setting sprays and things like that. So I do feel like I kind of have a mixed bag with things, and I definitely don't need any more bronzers next year. I don't need any more blushes next year. So there are still some categories that are not going to be growing, and a lot of these other things are going to be replacement buys or things that I'm just like interested in trying with you guys. So we'll see how that goes. But I feel really good about my budget. I like that I still have some wiggle room for December and I'm not like scraping the bottom of the barrel. And I think that this really has worked out extremely well this year. So I'm happy with this. I do not want to raise my budget for next year because I think that that would open the door for me telling myself I can bring more in under the guise of content. And you guys know that I'm not about that. So I am very okay with where we're at. But I'm going to wrap all this up before I drop anything on the floor because I am so scared about breaking anything that's on my table right now. But I am very happy about my end of year numbers. But this is where you guys tell me how you're doing. Let me know how your budget's going. I know, like I said, I need to film this weekend. Actually, I'm going to film my like reset video, and we're going to be going through and resetting my spreadsheets. We're going to be resetting my book right there. We're going to be resetting everything. So I will film that this weekend and get that up to you guys on the 22nd. We also have Deck of Panning finale coming up, which is very exciting. So we have some good stuff for the end of the year, plus of course my end of the year inventory. So we were going to get down to the nitty gritty of how my numbers have changed over the years, or over the year, and I'll compare it to last year, especially with how many items have come in, how many items have gone out, and how many items I maybe have decluttered, because I try not to declutter if I can help it. But very excited. So you guys are going to have to tell me, how are you doing on your budget? Are you guys setting up a budget for next year? Let me know what your thoughts are, just so I maybe have some things to touch on while I'm doing my reset video, while I'm filming that this weekend. Let me know if there's any other topics you want me to touch on in that reset video. So definitely drop those down below and let me know. But I'm going to have you guys do the rest of the things and hit a thumbs up on this video. Let me know that you guys are enjoying my content. I have so many new faces and so many new names dropping down in the comment section that I am so happy that you guys are here and that you have found my little corner of the internet. So if you are lurking or you're new, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. It is free for you, but it does help me out a lot. And also, like I said, if you're here for long videos and rambles and rants and dogs and all sorts of stuff, then definitely stick around. We are all about that. If you are a tried and true and you've made it this far, I'll give you a Malcolm update. Malcolm scared the out of me. I almost said it. I stopped myself. Scared the crap out of me earlier this week. Like I said, my husband went out of town, and the last time that my husband was out of town, our dog Simon went into distress and passed away, and I had to do that alone. And so the day my husband left for his trip, Malcolm he couldn't stand up. He couldn't walk, like he could not hold his own weight, and he kept like falling over. And I was like, oh God, my husband is gone until my husband actually came back a day early today. He's supposed to be back tomorrow. So I was like, oh God, and then Tuesday he had a new symptom of his legs starting to swell. So I'm like, oh God, I had called my vet, and you guys know that I'm very blunt with this, and you know that I'm handling this with the kind of grace that I can handle it with. But I basically told my vet, I was like, I need to keep him comfortable and keep him alive for the rest of the week. If I need to do something by myself, I will. But if there's a way to keep him alive for the rest of the week, tell me how to do that. What the doctor thinks is that the tumor on his bone has gotten so big that it is blocking off some of the lymph system. So I was doing lymphatic drainage massages on Malcolm's leg. He was living the dream. But that little booger, I cooked him a pound of ground beef, and he got to eat that for dinner on Tuesday night, and that booger perked up. And I'm like, so I'm going tomorrow to get him more Lord's chicken, because God knows that works. So I don't know. It feels so touch and go, and it feels like such a roller coaster to see him have these big declines and like prepare myself. And then like 2 days later, he's like, I'm good. I can walk around by myself. I can be at the back of the yard by myself. I can go up and down the stairs. I'm like, what are you doing? So that little booger is stressing me out, but it is good stress because he is still here. So, but I know we are coming to, our next milestone would be Christmas. And again, I don't know with how the tumor is starting to press on things. I just don't know. And you guys know that I will not keep that puppy uncomfortable for my own sake. So that is my update on Malcolm. He's going to get some more Lord's chicken tomorrow, and he will be a happy boy about that. But now I'm going to go because I have to edit this and get it uploaded by tomorrow for you guys. So it was all because of this baby right here. Waiting on this baby. It took an extra day to get to me, but well worth it because I'm going to be so excited about the looks that I can make with that palette. But I hope that you guys are excited about for the rest of the content that is coming in December. Again, drop me a comment down below if you want me to talk about any specific topic during my refresh video for project planning and budgeting and all that stuff for 2025. Let me know what you guys want to hear about. But otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and go. So I'm going to tell you that I appreciate each and every one of you, because I do from the bottom of my heart. I hope that you guys all have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you in my next one.